I don't know what to say about what the certain teams are doing, but certain things have happened in the first week of trades that it may have made a team absolutely overpowered. This is Sports Hour. Welcome back to another episode of Sports Hour. Welcome back to Season 2 of Sports Hour. A few big things are happening for the NBL this season. Uh, one team has been claimed. The Panthers are now owned, and they're headed to trades. All the trades that have happened at this point may make the Panthers absolutely insane. But that doesn't mean anything. It's possible that the Panthers could end up being the worst team. For example, we had the Hawks, who were supposed to be one of the best teams that got an additional pick in last year's draft, and they ended up being the worst team in the league. So it doesn't mean anything that just because a team gets a bunch of picks doesn't mean that anything is going to happen for that reason, for any specific reasons. Yes. Panthers have given up in its $10,000 and one of their starters. They're giving a lot of starters actually. So if we look back at the Panthers roster, although it's not quite finalized yet, Panthers are losing Kendrick Kuman. He is no longer on the Panthers anymore. He's moving to the Hawks in his second season. And all these teams actually need to be updated, so they'll all be updated by 1 year. Current is no longer a Panther. There are a couple of league players that have been taken off the list. At this point, there have been two main trades. And the Panthers have traded Raven Knob, Alexander, and pick 40 for the Foxes, who are a new team, pick 2 and pick 82. This cost the Foxes an additional $3,250, which is not a huge amount for the trade block anyways. And there, of course, are still a lot of trades coming up. The Panthers are now owned as a managed team. Unless the team wants to make hits. Currently, there are no teams that are owned. Panthers have a bunch of stuff that happened, but they're not owned. They're not. They don't have a manager. If you want a manager, there are links down below at the current end of the video. Panthers make a trade. Made the first trade of the NBL. Is trading Raven Knob and Alex Dodger and pick 40 for picks 4 and picks 82, which does cost the Foxes a little bit of money because of the context of the amount of trades. Panthers originally got pick 40, which would be $1,000 in standard. The difference is that they get pick 2, which costs $1,500, and pick 82, which is $1,000. So we get $2,500 right there. Then they also got 2 very good players off the top of it. Raven Knob. I'm going to the. It's not showing me. Give me a second to get that up. I see of the specialized things, the Foxes, who did get some good players from the Panthers. They got a 99 and an 83, which in corresponding gives it a total of a 7-point ratio for this. And they are a very inexperienced team at this time. Raven Knob actually doesn't even have hardly any experience anyways, so this could be a complete blowout for the Foxes. The other one was that Hawks also traded their first and 4th round pick plus $10,000 for Kimret or Kirik. So now they don't have hard picks. Now the good thing is that no one else can trade any picks to the Panthers because there is a cap out at 7 picks. No one can have less than 2 picks, even if it doesn't matter which player it is. So you can see the Foxes have a first and a 2nd pick and a 3rd. And the Hawks now have only 49 and 81, but they have they're minimized apps. They cannot at this point get any worse than that. It's like Hawks and hits. So their average pick is now 60. It still remains at 69, and you can see the picks going up here. The Legends have still the best with 61. The Foxes have gone up a little bit since making a trade. They're now only at 68. But you can see now the Panthers are a huge advantage. They have an average of pick 70 because they have a lot of picks. And they've got not only the 2nd, but the 9th pick, which means they got 2 picks in round 1. Then they got 2 picks in round 2. I believe it's round 2. Okay, actually, no. They got the last pick in round 2 and a pick in round 3. And then they got 2 picks in round 4. So and actually 3 picks in round 4. So they could potentially get the worst players in round 4, but they could still be in a very good position. Now, I'm thinking the Hawks probably made a huge mistake. And in the coming videos, there is going to be some discussion about how each team will do in the given seasons. Another big thing comes up for the one team, Max Wall comes out of retirement to play for the Bears. Sounds kind of like Ron Mikowski. I hope I did not pronounce his name right. He's coming back to the Bears. But Gronk's coming back to playing for the Bears. He is retiring, however, at the end of the season as a requirement because he will turn 21 in the middle of the season. So he will be, this is his last season. He can't play next season. The requirements are that you can play as early as 12, but you can have to retire if you turn 21 during the season where you would, yes. If you happen to turn 22 if you turn 21 before the season starts, you can play that season, but you're stuck in 22. This is for protection for males and females, and it's because of the age range. There's a lot of contracts for that. But as you see now, there's plenty of picks. The Panthers have now 7 picks, and there's a possibility that Panther people will go after one of their picks. Like, hey, we really want to get a pick from you guys, and it's going to be something that is going to be huge if they do not get the picks right now. It's a big problem if players don't trade for this. As you know, the bank is very high. Everyone has to pay $5,000, and then who knows? Certain players are going to pay a little bit more after it. Starting on December 1st, December 31st, you have to pay the salary of players after 31st and on January 15th, which is after the draft. The draft occurs on the 1st and 2nd of January. There is a possibility that it could also happen on the 31st, depending on how long it takes for the rounds. Yes. Anybody who does not do this can in fact get to this. Now, of course, there's still a lot of trades going up. I mean, the Legends are trying to trade for the first pick to the Panthers. They're not going to get that because the Panthers no longer have the 40th pick, and that's actually incorrect. So this trade will not happen. They want to trade for a pick. They might try to trade for a different pick. It would cost the Legends $750 to do that pick, and they can't even trade this anymore because of the way it works. I don't even think the Panthers even have Liberty anymore. Well, okay, they do. Do they have Liberty? Yes, they do have Liberty, but the thing is, this would cost a whole lot of money to do this. And honestly, most players do it for your first pick. Now, we've had some problems with the first pick being terrible. Like, for example, last year, the Saints traded the first-round pick to the Panthers because the previous year they had the 7th pick and they did nothing with it. In fact, they didn't even get a trade for it. They just got a really bad player, and that player got suspended for almost the entire season. He got eliminated actually from the league for multiple allegations that we're not going to go into in these videos. But otherwise, the Panthers have 7 picks. They haven't maxed out at the now picks they get. The draft will still occur on the first. And if you do want to get in control of one of these teams, it can be any of these teams. The Panthers are still open to. I messed up in that thing. They are not been traded. But if you want to try to make a trade for it, all you have to do is go to nblsportshour@gmail.com, send an email and say, I would like this team, and if the team is available, then you get to use this. Yes. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching Sports Hour. I will see you guys in the next video, and we'll see what happens. Oh, one more thing before I get this. The cap size has been increased to 26 players. What is it? 26 players. I think it's 26 now. Yeah. Oh, it's been increased to 30 players. The Panthers just don't have this first, depending on the team. There's no extra minutes. I believe it's actually 30 teams now, but the cap size has been increased. Anyways, thank you guys for watching for this current block hit. I will see you guys in the next sports rant before we draft, and in the future videos we'll be discussing how will each team do in the next season.